Hello students. Economic activities. Economics chapter, sectors of Indian economy under the revision of board exam. I have taken this chapter, sectors of Indian economy, economics chapter, chapter number 2. Okay, economic activities. Economic activities divided on the basis of the nature of activity. There are three, divided into three. They are primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. So here what is the question? On the basis of the nature of the activity, economic activities are classified into how many groups? Three. What are those? Primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. Under primary sector, examples: agriculture, dairy, milk products, minerals and ores. What is ore? Ore means a stone which contains mineral. It is called ore. Minerals and ores comes under primary sector. And fishing and forestry comes under primary sector. Primary sector, it provides base for other two sectors. What are those other two sectors? They are secondary and tertiary sector. Okay, so primary sector, it provides base for two sectors, other two sectors. That is why it is called primary sector. Okay, statement may give, you may get statement primary sector is a why it is called primary sector, because it provides space for other two sectors. Okay, so here you have to remember the examples under primary sector: agriculture, dairy, minerals and ores, forestry and fishing comes under primary sector. Okay, next is secondary sector. Secondary sector, it is also called industrial sector. Primary sector is also called agriculture sector. Secondary sector is also called industrial sector. Why it is called industrial sector? Because the process, they take raw materials and they process, and these after processing they manufacture final good or finished goods. So this process takes place in industries. That is why it is called industrial sector. Okay, in primary sector, activities undertaken by directly using natural resources. Here they use natural resources. Okay, they use in under primary sector they use natural resources. They extract produce from natural resource. Okay, they produce goods by exploiting natural resource. And in secondary sector, what they do, they process the natural product and they manufacture finished goods. For example, if you take cotton is a natural produce. Okay, so after getting cotton, what we do to make cloth? Spinning, you know the process, spinning, weaving. Okay, this process takes place in industries. That is why it is called industrial sector. Coming to tertiary sector, it is also called service sector. Tertiary sector is also called service sector. These are the examples: transport, communication, banking and trade. These are the examples under tertiary sector. Tertiary sector, it does not produce any good, but it produces services and it provides support to the secondary sector and primary sector. Okay, so in this concept you have to remember the examples under each sector and why it is called primary sector and why it is called secondary sector and why it is called tertiary sector, that you should remember. Okay, this tertiary sector, what it does, it helps in the development of primary and secondary sector. Okay, you should remember under this sector point, which point you have to remember, it does not produce any good but support the other two sectors by providing services.